Welcome back, I am Dr. Ruckus, and today we are playing Big Blue in Ranked Standard. Why? Because I've played Mono Blue Jin Tempo 1,000 times, and we needed something different for Blue today, so we're trying this out instead. Now, one of the biggest problems with Mono Blue is that there aren't really hard removal spells, like Infernal Grasp, for example. We mostly have to rely on counter spells and bounce spells to stabilize. So for that reason, we're leaning heavily on Karn's Silex, a 3-mana legendary artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped, but then next turn you can pay X, tap it, exile Karn's Silex, and destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Activate only as a sorcery. This gives us some ability to sweep the board in what otherwise is kind of a weak spot in Mono Blue's arsenal. It also makes the opponent do weird things, right? As soon as you play the Karn Silex, they're then up in the air. Should I deploy more to the battlefields, or should I wait until Karn Silex is off the board? This ends up being pretty good for you because if they choose to do nothing, you can just keep drawing, and then if they do choose to do things, you can just sweep it up with the Silex. So that's desperately needed, I think, in this style of deck, so we don't have other types of interaction beyond counter spells and bounce spells. Rest of the deck, we got some solid counters here. 4 Make Disappears, which is very good in general. Scatter Ray, I think is probably just an upgrade to Essence Scatter in most cases. Instead of just saying counter target spell, we can counter target, instead of just saying counter target creature spell, we can counter creatures and artifacts like the Bankbuster unless the controller can pay 4, and 4 is a pretty hefty tax to pay for most of the game. 2 Impulses as well for a little bit of card draw, 4 Thirst and 4 Memory Deluge for lots of card draw. Urza's Rebuff is my counterspell of choice in the 3-drop slot because, again, given that we don't have that much interaction to stop things if they're already on the battlefield, I like the potential that we could tap our opponent's 2 creatures if we just need to stall for one more turn instead of countering a spell. Teferi is kind of one of our win cons. Definitely a very powerful 5-drop. Could win on its own, but often just kind of bridge the gap, keep you drawing cards, and keep you in the game until you can hit your ultimate win cons. Mostly that's going to be the Hullbreaker Horror, which is obviously just a beast and has been forever, but the All-Seeing Arbiter is kind of a nice bridge between the 5-drop and 7-drop slot with 6 mana. It has flying. It's a 5/4. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 cards and discard a card, so that's pretty nice. And then whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X, -O until your next turn. So that keeps the opponent at bay for a little bit, and if you can attack with this every turn and draw 2 cards every turn, you're probably going to win that game. So it's a nice bridge between the two. A little bit of stuff going on in the mana base. 21 islands, 1 Otawara to bounce, 1 Blast Zone in case you need to charge it up, kind of like the Silex to sweep the board, 2 Grottos, which I like a lot. The ability to scry into the cards you need at the right time is invaluable, and 1 Mistress Foundry just in case we need it to finish off the opponent. That's the deck. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. We can definitely try this. It's too bad we're not in the play. Make Disappear is so much better on the play in this deck. Because then we take their 2-drop instead of them landing a 1 and 2-drop and getting under us. Ganjo. You land the 2-drop, and it's the Malevolent Hermits. Okay. Well, we'll get some more blue down here. Leave a comment if you like these avatars. I think they're pretty weird. I'm not a fan. Oddly human, but not human enough. Opponent on some 5-color jank. They can't sack the Hermit because they don't have 1 blue to pay. Get rid of the Bankbuster while we can. Alright, down to 18. Looks like we're going to Thirst this turn. Maybe bin the land. We'll see. Ideally, we hit more land off it, though. Peacekeeper. Okay, well, we have to do this beforehand. Because we definitely want this to resolve. They can counter it if they want. I mean, kind of fine with that. They don't. We'll drop off 1 land here, I think. What do we need to do? I mean, we need to land as well. Counter spells are looking worse. You really want to resolve Deluge. Drop 1 land here. Okay. Opponent burns the timer. They pick Thirst for Discovery, which is honestly fine by us. I'd much rather attempt Deluge. They can always counter it with the Hermit, but those are our options here. Could also tap 2 target creatures before combat, which is kind of interesting. But I think we want a Deluge. So we'll see if they counter it with the Hermit or not. Alright. Let's do this beforehand. Give them the chance to kill the Hermit before they deal damage. They give it to us, and we get the Silex. I think we're taking it. I wonder if they have another Peacekeeper. Down to 11. They might counter the Silex when it comes down. Let's see if they tap out. We have backup Silex. Okay. I mean, we kind of have to go for it here. Because we're dead soon. When it dissipates it. Okay. You got it. Well, we got one more shot at that, but we are almost dead here. Opponent running Dissipate in their weird 5-color deck. But they are winning. Because we're not playing a mind-blowingly powerful deck here. The wedding announcement. Or at least get the draw off it. Another land. 6 mana. Okay. Maybe it's an Arbiter turn, just get a blocker down. Seems reasonable to me. Can probably drop off one of these counter spells. Let's make you smaller. Silver Scrutiny, main phase. Okay. Opponent gets the reload. They're giving us a chance here. They know about one of the horrors. Horror can definitely do a number. Too bad we don't hit land. Probably want to Thirst this turn. But Silex is so good. I think we do the Silex instead. And get rid of everything that's less than 3. And then we still have the counter spells open. Just hang back, defend. We could attack and get the draw, but I think we just defend here. If we get one more turn to Silex, they're kind of in a little bit of trouble. 2 attackers. Interesting. So that means they want a Wandering Emperor and pump it up. If they do that, we just Silex in -4. We don't have a whole lot to follow up with the next turn. I think we eat the damage here and use the Silex. We could also block with the Foundry. They only have 5 lands. I think we're eating 4 here, 3 to 4. No blocks. So no Wandering Emperor. They can still Wandering Emperor if they want. Drop us to 2. Okay, sure. My turn. So we Silex for X equals 3. Play out the land here. I think more land's still okay. We have plenty of spells to use with the horror. I guess we could attack with the Arbiter first, and then counter the Emperor, and then Silex. Okay, let's see if they want an Emperor now. We like the land. I think we drop off 1 Make to Spear. Sure, make you smaller. So if they play the Emperor, we just sweep it up with the Silex. Yep, so there she is. So if we make the Spear, we have to pay 3 more. Which means we don't have enough to Silex, so we just let this go. I think that's the only option.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Yep, so you're dead, which is fine. And then we Silex for X equals 4. All right. Goodbye, everyone. And we have both the counter and the thirst for this turn. Maybe the Make to Spear. I like the hard counters. I think that's okay. Scoop. Okay, I mean, that was pretty funky. I'll take it. 2-lander on the play. We have the Grotto Scry, so we can try to get to that land quicker. I think we'll even go for it now, because that's for sure what we want. I guess that's fine. I think we'll take any land we can get. Opponent on Grixis. Get the blue going. Maybe hold full control, so they're not sure if we have Make to Spear ready for them or not. Okay. Nothing there. Let's see. I think we're going to Thirst on their turn, try to hit more land. Don't need to drop the Silex into Make to Spear. Okay. Sure. Let's try to Thirst here. And I really want the land, but I think we keep all the cards we can get. Okay. Not a bad place to be. Could Deluge this turn. Again, we don't need to run a Silex into Stern Lesson. Uh-oh. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Create a tapped Power Stone token. I mean, that's fine. I think we want to counter the big things they want to play with the Power Stones. I think we let these cards go. And we'll try to Deluge this turn if we can. What are they going to do with the Power Stones, though? I mean, they're not in our typical reanimation colors. Fable. I mean, we want to counter that if we can. The other option is to try to resolve Silence and just take it all next turn. I think we just counter this one. I think that's fine. It's too much value on one card. You can't charge yourself right now. No lands, though. Could Delusion now to hit land, which is a little bit painful. Could Thirst now to hit land, hold Impulse. Let them resolve whatever they want this turn for 6-ish mana. Silex it next turn. I don't know. I really want to hit land, but I think I want to hold these counters open still. Okay. Probably what we should have done last turn is done Impulse main phase, hit the land that way, almost certainly, and then could still hold a counterspell. We would need to hit a blue land specifically, but... Okay, they're doing their thing. We've got a lot of counters for their whatever their top end is. And eventually once they get the horror out, everything is a counter. A Braid, good to know. We'll take land. We can almost just take both lands here. Right? Do we even need Teferi right now? Teferi's good eventually. Alright, we'll take the Teferi. Okay, hit land anyway. Slamming Teferi feels unnecessary. We're going to discard a card here. They can drop the 8/8 next turn. So I think we have to hold steady. The Cityscape Leveler. So I guess we just end here. Who are we binning? We need the counters. We like everyone else. It could be the Impulse this turn. Impulse plus Thirst is okay. Silex is interesting because it takes the Power Stone tokens. It gives us our only answer to something on the field. I think we're going to bin the Impulse. Sadly. Yeah, let's bin the Impulse. Let's try it that way. Okay. They go for their first critter. And they have plenty of mana to counter. But we'll try it anyway. Resolves. Okay. Maybe they drop a Fable this turn. What does it take to charge you? XX and tap it. Okay, so we cannot do that. Another counter. Now do we slam Teferi? It's kind of tempting. But we're still fine, and we can counter and Thirst this turn. I think we plan to do that instead. We're almost a Hullbreaker Horror mana. And if we can get that to resolve with more counter spells or draw spells, we'll be in solid shape. They shouldn't have any removal. I mean, there is it, really. I don't know if they play any black spells, or this could just be for cycling. Fable's a good counter again. But then we don't have anything for the big stuff. But I think we're going to rely on the Hullbreaker Horror to deal with the big stuff. So we'll take you again. Okay. And we'll take the Thirst here. And they have Negate. Interesting. Did not expect that. Alright, I think we're going for Teferi this time. And if we're lucky, we hit land. Probably should have manually tapped the Blast Zone. I think I'd rather draw. They probably have lots of removal that's just sitting in their hand they haven't been able to use. We don't hit the land, which is too bad. But that's okay. If they have another of these skitterers, skitter beams, those come out with haste. So they might be able to attack down Teferi this turn. Yep, there it is. Nothing we can do about it this time. So that's a good chunk of damage. They all go to Teferi, though, which seems weird. 2 go to Teferi. Okay, fine. Down to 16.
We'll have to try again.
9 mana is expensive. Okay. We kind of need the horror, then. That's really the only way to do this. Can't be countered. I think we take 12 this turn, play the horror, and then bounce everything on the next turn. Silex is not big enough to deal with these 9 mana cards. And we hope they don't skitter again. I think we eat this all, because they got to have removal here. And so we don't want to drop the horror low enough to get picked off by removal. Take 12 down to 4. Play out a Bank Buster, which is too bad, but you have to let that one go. Alright. This cannot be countered. So we'll see if they have 8 damage worth of red removal. Okay. What we most want to do is Deluge and start bouncing tokens. We don't really need to do that now, unless we want to hit land. Which is maybe okay. Bounce a token. We like the thirst, and we like the land, I think. But I think we play the land in case we need to double spell. No attacks. Hold back the horror to block if we have to. They get the Bank Buster draw. I mean, we've seen 0 red removal. I guess they have a Braid, but I expect they'll have more. Cityscape Leveler. Oh, they get it right when it's cast? That's unfortunate. Okay. So what can we do here? It doesn't have haste. We have to counter it twice and bounce both tokens and lose the horror. I think that's the only way to do it, right? Bounce you. And they can power up the Bank Buster in response. And then go for lethal. So that should be game. Just need to power up the Bank Buster. Do they see it? They're thinking. That's all you need to do. We're tapped out. You're going to kill the horror. Ooh, they don't do it. Okay. We live another day for a fraction of a second here, but then we just die, right? We can't block all of them at once. Foundry can block 1. We'd have to draw into something good here. Not sure it's really possible. Scatter Ray. Unless they pay 4 or 5. They can pay 4. So we'd need another counter. So that means we need to dig for another counter here. I think the Silexes are not doing us a whole lot of favors right now. So is there any way to get to another counter? Not really. Only if they mess up. So I think we've lost here. Alright, pretty funky game. If they cast something first randomly before the... Oh, it's 9 mana. Wait, hold on. 3, 6... 8. Okay, so potentially if they don't hit land, we can maybe Scatter Ray. They're 9. Ooh. They play it for 5, though. So we're dead here. So now is there anything we can draw? There are only 2 2s. I think we're dead. Yeah, I think we're dead here. Alright, they pay 4. And then they get a bunch of 2 2s, and then they attack, and then we die. So that is game. Okay. This is probably going to mulligan. Okay. Better. I guess we have to put back to Fairy here. Alright, so we'll keep this. Bye, Teferi. We'll see you again later. Alright. On the play. Dragon coming down. Mono black. No 1-drop. Feels good. We can counter the 2-drop, but they don't have to if we really want to do the Silex plan. Underdog. Maybe we still counter this thing, slow them down a little bit. And then try to make their life as awkward as possible with the Silex. If they don't do anything, we Deluge. If they do, we Silex. Okay. They plus make us lose a card.
My way.
That's a pretty good response.
Drop it.
I think we're okay in the plussing business. I mean, we do have the ability to draw lots of cards, so I think we're Delusion here instead. And we can grind with the plus. We do need to answer this eventually, but we can always just Silex it. Sure. Let's start with the Deluge. I guess we'll take the Grotto. I think we'll take 2 lands here.
Don't overthink things.
Drop off the island. We'll take the Scry from the Grotto next turn. Concealing Curtains. Okay. Level up, take the other Deluge. Okay. More land. Alright, well, that was not an amazing draw. I think we probably Grotto this turn. We don't have to. We can give one more turn. That's a good card. Okay. So we Grotto this turn, so we can just play out Teferi next turn. Seems reasonable. We're doing X equals 3, yeah? It's a good scry there. We'll see if they can deal with it. Here comes the underdog. And if they do draw into Invoke Despair, we'll be a little sad. Also, they draw into Cut Down. That's also pretty bad, because then they can cut down our 2/2 blocker. But we'll make them have it here. Keep playing out land. No stick yet. I think we make a blocker. We don't have to. The other option is just a plus here, because then the underdog can't kill it. Yeah, I'm down for that. Okay.
Now that is an interesting fact.
So if we had minus and they had cut down plus underdog, they could take our blocker and attack it down. But now we get some more value out of Teferi.
Oh, you caught me this time.
Bank Buster. Okay. Horror's pretty good. I think we can make a blocker this time. And then play the horror to defend on their turn.
Who's that handsome devil?
We'll hope they don't just immediately have their removal spell. What else you got? Could go Liliana here. Okay, cool. Happy to see that now. Okay. Here comes the horror. Take the block. Deluge next turn, probably. We're definitely in this game. I mean, mono black is very strong. But, we got some good options coming up. That's great, too.
There is much the past can teach us.
I think that's fine. Probably could have saved that and played the Odawara. And, yeah, we can start attacking here. Because they're pretty happy to just bounce the underdog. Maybe we don't need to yet. They're down to 12 though. Let's start taking it to them. Yeah, maybe should have played the Odawara and kept the other land to discard to the Thirst, but okay, we can wait until they commit. Sorin. I mean, that's an easy bounce target. They just lose here. That's game. Return target spell, return the Sorin. And now they have nothing to block the horror, so that is game. Yeah, okay. Big blue taking on mono black. I like it. On the play is great to see. We prefer to have some more early interaction. Rakuchi. Okay. I was thinking Pikachu Raichu, but I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced. Alright, what is this? Grixis? Grixis do nothing. Okay, they let us load up on the counter spells. That's fine. I think we chill here and counter stuff for a while. Don't need the Silex just yet. Okay, opponent wants to do nothing. Okay. Fortunately, we're not hitting land. I think we're still holding out here. But every turn we don't hit land is painful, especially when the opponent is hitting land. Bank Buster. I think we just hard counter that. See if they make Despair in response. They do. Okay. Well, might resolve a Silex this turn. Whew, land is good. Okay. Other option is just to Deluge and hit land and play Teferi next turn. I don't hate that either. What are they going to do this turn? Still have Make Spear for Sheldred. I think that's okay. Take the draw first. Looking for land, potentially. Okay. Odoar and Fable. Probably have to counter that. Sadly. I wanted to Deluge, but we can't really let that resolve. We don't hit the land for Teferi, which is too bad. I think we're still Deluging this turn, and they get a Bankbuster draw every turn. It's not ideal. Getting the Bankbuster down for them was pretty big. We missed land drops early. Yeah, so, the other option is to get the Silex going and try to sweep all this up. It's pretty good, actually. We'll get some value off in the meantime, but, we want at least one land here. Scrying is okay. Could go land and play Impulse this turn. I think I'm good with both of that. We don't need to counter much because we're going to sweep everything up with the Silex soon. Okay. Start with the Grotto Scry. The Deluge is okay. But we kind of have plenty of card draw. What do we want more than that? I think just more land would be even better. Alright. Here comes the Silex under Make Disappear, unless they want to, whatever it's called, casualty it. Nope, that sticks. It's pretty good for us. So they get some value off this turn. Then this coming turn, we can sweep everything up for X equals 3, which isn't awful. Unless they can pick off artifacts somehow. They'd have to run a Braid for that, which doesn't always fit in Grixis. Usually it's Infernal Grasp and Go for the Throat. Been a land. I think Invoke Despair here would probably be their best play. Drain us, get a bunch of cards without deploying anything else to the board. Okay. Yep, swing for 2, and we'll see if they can do anything useful this turn. They have the Abrade. Oh, come on. Come on. Really? Okay. Well, that blows. We'll try again next turn. Another Fable, I mean, we have the next Silex, so we can try again. They only have one more Bankbuster draw. I think we're still looking for more land here. I guess we take what? Yeah, I think we just want the land. Teferi's interesting. Having a lot of Teferis is good. I think we're just taking the land, though. Alright. Okay. Silex Part 2. Let's hope they don't casualty Make Spear this one. Good, they're looking for the draw. Okay. Very good. Scatter Ray. Can I... Oh, it wants to counter my own Silex. I was like, can we counter the Bankbuster activated ability? No, I don't think so. Oh my god, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna rage quit if they top deck Make Disappear. They are going to. Yep. Alright. Hit the like button if I should flip my table and rage quit. Oh, we can counter this, can we? No, we still can't. Artifact creature. Yup. Just lovely. No reason to do that. Decline. Alright, we're not going to rage quit. We're going to play on. We have more Silexes. And Teferi's okay. We basically need the Silex to win. That's a pretty key part of the deck, and the fact that they've been able to interact with it twice has been instrumental to them being in this game. Brotherhood End. That can also destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. Alright, the Silex thing is not working out so well against this deck. Okay, opponent crews the Bankbuster. Swings for 6. Time is ticking. Now they copy the Goblin Shaman every turn. Does the Arbiter do anything? Bankbuster. Unless they pay 4. Yeah, we're already way past that point. I think if they bin the Brotherhood End, they have more ways to get the next Silex, right? Maybe they have backup Brotherhood End. Though maybe they don't want to destroy all, I guess we'll go ahead and counter this while we can. Maybe they don't want to destroy the artifacts because they killed their own bank busters. I'm not sure. Okay. All the Teferis. Can Arbiter here. Makes a good blocker. They can copy things every turn. But not a whole lot we can do about that. Could also go for a Deluge. I think we just die if we go for Deluge. Alright, let's see if they have the last make disappear. Then maybe we will rage quit. Okay, Resolve. I think we still need Silex. Maybe we discard one of the Teferis. Looks like they have removal here. Go for the throat. Okay. We still get our draw discard trigger. Ooh, Horror is interesting. That could get us in the game. So we definitely need a land. Discard a guard. I think we discard one of the Teferis here. Okay. And see if we're just dead this turn. They got what? At least 8 damage. We've got a lot of damage. Copy you. Power up both. Swing for 10. Even if we play the Horror this coming turn, I'm not sure we can get there. Alright, that's game. Well, Silex did not work out. They had the answers both times. It's okay.